Welcome to my world. Come on in and make yourselves at home. Welcome to my life. I know everything's gonna be all right. Welcome to my world. Oh, won't you come on in? Welcome to my life. It's known as the Tiger's Den. Greetings to all of my subscribers. I want to thank you for being with me for as long as you have, and the new subscribers that's coming on in. We want to say greetings and thank you for your time. This is from Toothless and the moderators. Welcome to the Tiger's Den. Greetings and welcome to the Tiger's Den. This is the voice of Cheryl, and I am Toothless Tiger. I just wanted to come on film for a moment to say to you, Honorable Judge Scott McAfee, congratulations from Toothless and the Tiger's Den, all the way from Dallas, Texas. What you have done in your few years of service is more than many have done in a lifetime of service. And I thank you. I thank you for having decorum in your courtroom. I thank you for your business acumen. And I thank you for the honor that you showed everybody in your courtroom, even when the district attorney of Fulton County was totally out of order. Of course, that's one woman's opinion. And I love the fact that you sit in judgment of that individual, not me. That's just my opinion. It could be right, it could be wrong. But the way you handle yourself, it didn't diminish anybody in the room. Although I felt Miss Merchant, definitely Mrs. Merchant, forgive me, definitely deserved an apology. But again, that's just one woman's opinion. Tonight, I'm here to celebrate you, Judge McAfee, and all that you've done, all that you do, and all that you will do. See, one thing I know, that we're all human and we fall short of other people's expectations. If you're a scripture quoter from the Sun Book, some call it the Holy Bible, the scripture will tell us that we all fall short of the glory of God. I may define God different than you may define God, but we all know that it's one God. And I just brought two hands together to make one. So what I say to you, sir, is I wish you nothing but the best in your endeavors. I've served the public for the majority of my working life for 42 years, and I've served in different capacities. My greatest joy was my last job, when I retired as a revenue officer, commissioned, oath-taking, to uphold the Constitution of the United States for America. And it was an honor and a pleasure to be an officer of the court and a subject matter expert in what I did for this country as a civilian employee of the federal government. Some people have issues with that, and that's fine. But what I know is the people are in every place. Integral, honest, truthful, peaceful, seek freedom for all people, and justice. And without love, none of that matters. And we have love one for another. So I want to ask you to continue as you have, and you will only get better as you age. And just know it's people rooting for you. I don't have a dog in the fight. I have loved President Donald Trump, as he once was called, since I was a kid, and he was just a rich man with a wife and children. And everybody loved Donald Trump. I'm sure not everybody in the world, but I'm not into the political thing. Number one, they didn't teach us politics as we were growing up in school, and of course you know that. But I've come to know the left wing, the right wing, we still have one bird. And there's no way that we should be going through the things we're going through today in 2024, but we're going through them. And I think we're doing okay. We all could do better. But again, I thank you. And I'm going to go off camera now because I'm going to do some reading. And I'm going to show a little small video of you, your last minute campaigning. And it was no sound, but it was a beautiful picture. And I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for doing your job honorably, in my opinion. I am not an attorney. I do not practice law, but I do read it very well. Don't comprehend everything. Those legalese sometimes get me. But I have a pretty good grasp of some things. I had to in my job. So, you know what they say about the jack of all trades and master of none. But in that job, you had to have different skill sets. But you didn't have to master either one. You just had to know where to go to get to where you wanted to go. And I learned how to do that. So on that note, I want to say once again, congratulations. I watch a lot of court TV, and I see some pretty good judges, and I see some not so good judges. I see judges that are so biased, it really breaks your heart. And it seems that nobody really take the oath of office serious. But I know that there are scholars, there are attorneys, there are lawyers, there are esquires, there are whatever you want to call yourselves, barristers, whatever the case may be. Do know, honor, and uphold the Constitution. Unfortunately, the people don't know the Constitution, won't study the Constitution, nor their Bill of Rights. And we find ourselves in a conundrum more often than not. But Judge McAfee, whether you see this or not, this was made in your honor. And I just want to remind other judges, if they should happen to take a look, to remember these words when you have people coming in your courtroom, such as D.A. Fonnie Willis did. And I know you had to be the professional one, because she certainly did not display any professionalism. Only to be found with an odor of mendacity. And you taught me that one. We know that's true. But the people voted her in the office. But if they would study the Constitution, she can be removed. Now we know she's not in the office yet because she has an opponent. So we do know that there is a possibility that she could lose. There is a possibility that she could win. You cannot know good if you haven't known any bad. And she, in my opinion, is as bad as it gets. And I understand she was once your boss. And I know you have a level of respect for her, and that is fantastic. I have bosses that I have a level of respect for. But I, too, had to do exactly what Miss Amanda Tipson had to do. Fight for my honor, my dignity, and my respect, because I worked with unscrupulous people who had no regard for God in heaven, the one that most people say they pray to, nor man. I found plenty of people talk about God, but they're talking about that acronym. Gold, oil, and drugs. Or perhaps they're talking about the governmental ordinance department. Who knows? But it could not be a holy God, because they show no mercy, no grace. And we all can say eloquent words. We know that lawyers go to seminars to learn all the things to say. And the legalese, that's what you learn in law school. That's not good enough, because it's not what you say. It's mostly what you do that shows the character of a human. And I am of the opinion there is only one race, and that's the human race. I understand hegemony. I don't play the discrimination game. Although we do know, since it has been put upon the people, we do know it's played daily. And unfortunately, District Attorney Fonnie Willis is playing that game. But we're going to do like they do. We're going to lift her up, since she can't stay away from the church. And let's say the black church. I know out of all of the constituents that lives in Fulton County, there has to be European churches and other ethnicity churches. There has to be other voters. Perhaps I'm wrong. I'm in Dallas, Texas, so I have no way of knowing. But something inside me tells me, pandering to some people who don't know who they are and who are hurting, who are marginalized. Everybody knows it, but nobody wants to do anything about it. it saddens me. Because just when we thought massa was the enemy, just when we thought, because I was born right at the end of Jim Crow, just when we thought it was over and we had civil rights and we were going to overcome, here I find myself 65 years old in the new Jim Crow. And unfortunately, Jim is no longer Jim. He's Jimmy. And SFA. Look just like me, but have no heart for the people. So I thank you for bringing Decorum to your courtroom. And I subbed it to your channel so I can check out some of your cases. But I went to the Edemon online and I found Decorum because a lot of our people were never taught about etymology. And we don't know the origin of words. We just know what we were told. Decorum, noun. In 1560s, that which is proper or fitting in a literary or artistic composition. 1580s, propriety of speech, behavior, or dress. Formal politeness. From Latin, decorum, that which is seemly. Noun, use of neuter, of adjective, decorous, fit, proper. From decor, beauty, elegance, charm, grace, ornament. From, I would say that's decus, but I'm sure it's not pronounced that way. Genitive, decorous, an ornament. From pie root, dic, to take, except, also from 1560s. Honor, and I'm going to tell you now, sir, I'm not about to pronounce all of these different honors because they all sound about one and the same. Except I would say the honor is kind of like in the English language when they don't say the H's. But I'm not going through all of that. Honor, noun. 1200s, glory, renown, fame earned. And it seems like a lot of people in Atlanta, in the judiciary, are seeking fame. You don't come across that way, sir. And you could be just as ambitious as the others. But I truly love the way you carry yourself before the people. And I do not believe that's just for the cameras. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. From Anglo-French, Old French, honor, dignity, distinction, position, victory, triumph. Modern French, from Latin, nominative, the form used by Cicero, but later, honor, dignity, office, reputation, which is of unknown origin. The initial H, as in honest, is a Latinate correction that began to be made in early Old French, representing a sound that had vanished before the word came to English until 1700s. were equally frequent. And that's the honor with the U and the honor without it. The former spelling became a preferred in England. In the latter, in the U.S., by influence of Noah Webster. And I guess that would be our Webster's Dictionary, one of the original authors. It is attested from 1300s as action of honoring or paying respect to, act or gesture, displaying reverence or esteem, state or condition inspiring respect, nobleness of character or manners, high station or rank, a mark of respect or esteem, a source of glory, a cause of good reputation. The meaning, feminine purity, a woman's chastity, is attested from late 1400s. The meaning, one's personal title to high respect or esteem, is from 1540s. In Middle English, it also could mean splendor, beauty, excellence. And that is honor. So we've covered honor and we've covered decorum. And those are two words that I wanted to share because it's lacking in some of the courtrooms in Fulton County that's being televised throughout the world. And it is very sad to see the prosecutors so dogmatic, so ruthless, and then to see the judge so biased, so condescending, so dismissive of the defendants, allowing the prosecutor to behave just like her boss. It's very unfortunate and very painful for us mothers to watch. Everyone is supposedly presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law of your peers. I've been doing a series, The Trial Penalty. We know that they're slowly trying to take away our civil liberties. But anyone who say that they love the Constitution, no, we cannot allow that. For the Constitution and the treaties are the supreme law of the land. And we must honor them. As the men before us wrote them. And I've come to know not all men that wrote them were of European descent. Because I am an Asiatic woman, indigenous to this land. Some call us Cherokee, some call us Bantu. I call me Moor. From the Moabites. I don't belong to any special sect. I don't claim rights that I don't have. I have unalienable rights that I was born with. And I share them with my people. I am a law-abiding citizen. I come in peace and love. And two, I can get a little ignorant. I'm a Scorpio. We tend to do that from time to time. But again, it's not about me, it's about you, sir. But I just wanted you to know who you're talking to. I am Cheryl, Toothless Tiger. And I just want to show the world you out campaigning right before it was time for everything to be over. And your countenance comes through on the screen. Your energy is just beautiful. And if you're faking, you're doing a good job. But I perceive you to be 100% real. Human like I am. Make mistakes like I do. But you spend your life trying to do what's right. And most of the time, you get it right. And that's just what I believe about you, sir. Although there is no sound, I'm just going to turn the sound down so nothing sounds blurry in your ear or anything. You've earned your spot. Congratulations. I was going to read a little bit about who you are, but I think on the campaign trail, everybody know by now that you are serving your first term elected by the people. And you are the youngest judge to sit where you're sitting. We are most proud of you, and we know that you were appointed by Governor Brian Kemp. We know that you are conservative, and you led a group on your college campus. And if we don't know that, now we know. I want to read a little bit about you, Your Honor. And I say my honor. The youngest member of the Atlanta area bench, Judge McAfee, is described by those who know him as a tough but level-headed professional. He has built an impressive CV over a relatively brief career, working for both Miss Willis, a Democrat, and the state's Republican governor, Brian Kemp. His conservative legal bona fides and demeanor may also shield him from potential accusation of bias, a charge Mr. Trump has frequently flung at judges and prosecutors in other cases. And you see, to me, that's bias and political, because that wasn't even necessary to say. We're talking about how great you are. But then you could call me biased. Of course I'm not. I just like Donald Trump. And I like you too. And y'all happen to be in the same party. But I like a lot of people, and I like a lot of Democrats too. I'm not reduced to the left or the right wing. But I'm going to do my civic duty. I am a patriot. I am an American. His prior experience indicates that he is highly competent and well qualified for the challenge of presiding over the massive indictment that places Donald Trump at the head of an alleged criminal enterprise. Clark Cunningham, a professor at Georgia State University College of Law, told the BBC, and the article that I'm reading from is from the BBC. That experience checks many boxes typical of a rising legal star, with a couple of interesting quirks thrown in. I love this part, and I heard you tell this on Judge Joe Brown and the Real Dinah show the other night. I didn't know that Judge Joe Brown had an affinity for scuba diving. But it was really hilarious to hear y'all talk about it. He is a volunteer scuba diver at the Georgia Aquarium, where his work includes a few different things, such as cleaning exhibits, according to the institution. He studied politics and music at Emory University in Atlanta, where he played cello for the school's orchestra. At the University of Georgia Law School, he belonged to the Federalist Society, a conservative legal group that serves as a pipeline for lawyers and judges on the right, and the Republican Student Group. He also interned for Georgia Supreme Court Justices David Namias, I hope I pronounced his name right. If I didn't, please forgive me, and Keith Blackwell. What really stands out is his temperament. He's not excitable. He's even killed, Mr. Blackwell told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. After graduating in 2013, Judge McAfee served as both a local prosecutor and in private practice, before eventually taking a job prosecuting homicides in the Fulton County District Attorney's Office in 2015. There, Miss Willis was his supervisor. In an interview with the Washington Post last year, she described him as one of her baby attorneys, praising him as immensely talented. Miss Willis was elected Fulton County District Attorney in 2020, and shortly afterwards began her investigation into Mr. Trump's efforts to overturn his narrow loss in Georgia that November. Judge McAfee worked on hundreds of felony cases ranging from armed robbery to murder for the county, according to the Georgia's governor's office. A year into his tenure, he was named Trial Court Lawyer of the Year. In 2018, he moved to the federal government as an assistant U.S. attorney in Atlanta, and eventually caught the eye of Governor Kemp, who appointed him as Inspector General in 2021. You had some awesome experience. His experience as a tough prosecutor equips him to search out fraud, waste, abuse, and corruption, and bring those to justice who break the law, Mr. Kemp said in a statement at the time. Just 2 years later, Judge McAfee ascended once again when Mr. Kemp appointed him to the bench. Very impressive. Very honorable. And I know you earned every moment of every position that you've had. 6 months later, in August 2023, the court system randomly assigned him the case of the decade, one that changes a former Oval Office occupant under racketeering laws used to take down mob bosses. It's high stakes during a presidential race involving Mr. Trump have quickly become clear. Judge McAfee has faced months of threats, including a swatting incident at his home in January. So have Miss Willis and other Fulton County officials. You know, y'all have a lot of people in Georgia that do that to us YouTubers. They do the swatting. They name us child predators. That happened to me. They bully us. It is very, very, very unsafe. And it's very hard to get to anybody who will listen because we're all in different states and in different cities. But this happens to us all, so I can't even imagine what you all went through. And as a revenue officer, I'm going through some things, but not like that. Nothing like you all have gone through. But there has to be some justice for us adults on YouTube who are retired and disabled, and we're just trying to get another stream of income, to be attacked by people that befriend you in your circle and who take your money and then mistreat you. Something has to be done about that. And I know that's not your responsibility, but I just thought I'd say that since I'm getting an opportunity to speak directly to a judge. And his handling of the case has already drawn at least one Democratic challenger ahead of an election for his post next May. Local radio host and activist Robert Patillo. Fulton County is dominated 3-1 by Democratic voters. Mr. Patillo told the New York Times the judge has mishandled the motions to disqualify Miss Willis. I don't know if you mishandled them. I think you were pretty strategic. Again, I'm not an attorney. I didn't go to law school, but I promise you I've read a lot of the law statutes, especially in the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. And I've also read the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. And I don't know all the stuff that you wrote, sir, so I don't pretend to be on your level. But I think you did some awesome stuff from what I could tell. You know, and I understood in my mind why you did what you did, given you are a Republican in Democratic waters, and since you scuba dive, then you know how to navigate the waters. And I think that's where a lot of us miss the mark. Be that as it may, this is an old article, but I'm just sharing your information. And you won. So that's all that matters. The court has turned this from one of the most solemn prosecutions of a former president into a daily reality show. Something that you see on Real Housewives, Mr. Patillo said. I would agree with him on that. It appears really, I'm not lying to you, Your Honor. You're about the only person. Well, no, the defense was really good to me, too. Even in President Trump's case, they were very good. But that prosecutor's office on your case and the other case that I watch, it is, everybody looks like they're auditioning for the next, maybe DAs of Atlanta or prosecutors of Fulton County, or I don't know what they're trying to be, but everybody look like they're auditioning for something. The next big thing. That's what it seems like to me. So I would agree with him on that. The trial could begin in August, regardless of how Judge McAfee handles the case. One thing is for sure: his actions will continue to be scrutinized, possibly for years to come. And that is true. And you can't please all of us. And I'm glad that you do it the way you do it and please the one that you answer to and with who you can sleep with, and that's you. That's your responsibility, that's your task, and you seem to do it very well. So I commend you, sir. I'm going to get ready to close. I just wanted to say congratulations, and I wanted to say it my way. So this article is from BBC, and it was written March 15th, actually, 2024. And it was written by Kayla, Epstein, and Sam Cabral at the BBC News. So thank you for your time. I hope you get to watch this video, and I hope you appreciate it. I mean, no disrespect to nobody, but I am honest, and sometimes brutally. And it is never my intention to hurt. I came to YouTube to help uplift fallen humanity. I have one handsome, brilliant son, and I am grateful that he took the path that he's on. And he has made his mama awfully proud. And so I try to impart my love, my knowledge, my wisdom, my little quirkiness, craziness, whatever you want to call it, my humor, my humanity into others in hopes that I can inspire somebody to pick up a book and read. I started on a path 13 years ago to find out who were we before we were called slaves. And I'm very satisfied with the information that I've been discovering. And I am grateful to be a part of something great, and that's life. And so, sir, I thank you for all that you do for everybody. I know we all can't be satisfied with the outcomes of the trials, but I thank you for doing the best that you can and keeping people with their dignity and their respect, even when they lost it for themselves. Thank you for showing it towards them, for them, and to them. And on that note, I leave by saying, I'm getting ready to leave the tiger's den. But before I do, anyone, please, if you watch this video, try to watch it to the end. If you can't make it to the end, come back and watch piece by piece. But hit the like button for me. If you would, share it. And subscribe to my channel. I've been here about 3 years, and I see everybody growing off of these stories. I've grown, but I don't grow much. But I'm only on live twice a week. So, thank you all very much. Congratulations, Your Honor. And you have a beautiful wife and baby girl. It looks like that was a baby girl. And you have a great, successful career. And help some people be like you. I know they got to be themselves, but I know you are imparting some good things for them to do, to stay in line with what needs to be done to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution for your state. So thank you for your service. Goodbye. I end my videos with my songs. When I was getting bullied real bad, I used to make songs to keep me in good spirits because I wasn't going to allow these people to bully me off of YouTube. I didn't come here for that. And one of my favorite songs is The Greatest Love. And that's Whitney Houston's rendition. And I just believe the children really are our future. So, after this song, you will not hear my voice anymore. and congratulations. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us who we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I failed, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place that you've been dreaming of takes you to a lonely place, find yourself in love.